Hello and welcome to part 9 of our gameplay in Songs of Syx in the great city of Foremenlore, which is actually really starting to take shape now. I think in this episode what we're going to do is we're going to have a massive overhaul. We're really going to start pushing over to the east. We want to set up our proper farmland over here, get some irrigation in, probably get some fisheries up as well, and potentially even colonize the other side of the river. So we got a lot to do in this episode. Now, the only reason we can really do this is because we have this fairly large workforce surplus. We're starting to get more and more people coming in, which is great. Our happiness for our humans is pretty high, partially due to bribes, partially due to the fact they are just quite happy. We're getting more services coming in. Now that we have stages, that's really helping. We could really work on getting some clay so we can get some more wells upgraded as well, if we possibly can. Like, for example, the well down here and the well, well, that one's already upgraded. So literally just this one here. So we've got to do some more to work with that. We should really think about as well having a start to mine up this clay area over here, which we can set up a fairly nice little clay bit here. The deposits aren't great. It's going to cost us a lot in furniture, but with some auxiliaries we increase the efficiency as much as we can. It's going to be very costly in terms of furniture, but the more that we can do, we don't need to do quite as much for the last one. Yep, let's get a nice size 3. We'll get a bunch of storages here as well. So this will be the start of our next stage, shall we say, over here by this clay pit. Let's get that started to construct. We have our farms here, and we're going to kind of copy these ideas for farms. We do kind of want to level out some of this water, and the main reason for that is because we are going to be wanting to put down some of our canal works, which is going to take more of our workers. Now, the only issue we have with this is we don't have really the veggies to build the vegetable farm. We are building the grain farm, but it's going to be a little bit of a while before that's done. And we want to make sure as well that we have some workstations up in this area, which we'll assign a couple of people to, just so they can get this place cleared out a little bit better. We'll increase the radius slightly. Yeah, that's probably fine. Doesn't quite reach the clay pit, but we'll work on that in a little bit. Let's go. So yeah, we're going to try and massively push our way over towards this proper farming area, the area that we are kind of thinking of doing. This fertility here is base 40, so there's some over here with base 30, which isn't the best, but it's a very easy way to kind of use the river to our advantage as much as possible. Thinking of that as well, we probably want to build another fruit farm as well. We'll make sure to build that on up, but we won't be able to do that because of the river. That's fine. We'll make sure that we're going to clear this out. Yep, there we go. Because we don't really care if it's actual normal water on the side of the farm. That's fine. That's going to irrigate it just as much as we had canals. We just need to make sure that we have water coming up here via our canals when we get there. Having a little look at our research, because we have a bunch of it available. We've already managed to unlock all of that there. What potentially do we want to get as well? We could get some more fisheries, and I don't think that's a bad idea. We could also get more fancy roads as well to get things like highways, which will increase our ability to move. I think actually we want to allocate just a little bit to spoilage. That'll help us a lot, and then hopefully we'll get back up towards an advanced laboratory in just a second. Speaking of improving our distribution of knowledge, let's actually just give all of our tools over to our laboratories. We are going to run out of tools, which is a little bit unfortunate, but fortunately we were making our own metal, and this should make it so that we are able to... Jesus Christ, dude, you do not look good. So people are a little bit dirty. We got to keep that in mind. One thing we should do as well is, if we're going to be doing everything to kind of improve things, so we're going to go ahead and think about paving up everything, and we'll convert all existing road types into paved roads just as much as we can, just to make it so that people are a little bit happier. How are we doing over here? We're still clearing this out. That's fine. We've got a good amount of pottery. We've got a good amount of clothes, a couple of weapons for when we want to start training up our militia, but we'll not worry about it just now. Our main thing is making sure that we have our knowledge up, which we do. So let's actually also unlock the improved laboratory, just to make it so that our researchers will do a little bit better. I don't think we currently have enough iron to upgrade this. No, we need 32. We have 24. So hopefully our smelter can get it done. Let's also actually give them a bunch of tools as well, just so we're continuing to increase that. We do need to have a little think about coal. Coal is all the way up here. We don't really have the workers to kind of do that yet. Kind of similar as well with the clay pit, where we have workers, we just don't have that many of them. Best way we can get more workers is we get more food. We can start feeding people a little bit better. And we've got nowhere really we can pick up vegetables that are nearby. The closest ones are over here or over here, so we'll maybe just give this a quick forage. People are in the vicinity. They should hopefully do that. We were quite fortunate the fact that we got this grain over here as well to begin with. That was very, very lucky. And in the meantime, we're just harvesting up. Good stuff, good stuff. Population slowly growing, and the more it slowly grows, the better we will do. Especially seeing as we have a decent amount of grain now as well. Now, in terms of what we want to research next, you can see that our research is shooting up, and that's because we're giving out all of those tools to both of our laboratories. It's absolutely fine. But we do need more coal. Now, we could improve on our charcoaler, which could be an idea. We cannot upgrade them just now because we don't have the tech, so we could also just get the tech so that we're not using too much of our workers. I mean, I don't think that's certainly a bad idea. It's what we're kind of limited on just now, so yeah, let's do it. We'll spend 200 knowledge points to get this. We'll upgrade this. Boom, another 4 coal being produced every single day, and if we really want to, we can also expand this out slightly. We'll see how our level of coal does. Fingers crossed we don't actually need to do that. Look at everybody going. And our ore mine working away there as well. We do have plenty of ore. I could potentially bring off some people there, but we'll just leave them on there for just now. Make sure as well that these are getting managed in terms of workers. And how are we doing over here? Yep, we're doing all right. We're going to be building our grain. They want to give us some money and some bows. You know what? I'm not going to say no. Thank you very much, friend. We will not use those bows on you, honest. Definitely not. Nah. Perish thought. Now, as it stands, we do actually have quite a bit of money, which is nice. We do want that money. As far as our imports go, we're still needing to bring in quite a bit of this nice stone, the fancy stone, in order to try and complete this chamber. We're going to struggle to bring in jewelry, unfortunately. Okay, sorry about that. We had a little bit of a recording difficulty there, but we're back in action. So as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, was that we're going to struggle to get this jewelry in just because of how much it costs. We do have a little bit of treasury, but every bit of jewelry is quite expensive, so we're going to have to worry about that. I think we probably want to try and get another import depot if we can. Fortunately, don't use workforce because we're going to want to bring in the vegetables so we can start to build up our vegetable farms over here, which will be great. So these water pumps are really nice. They pump in your water. They're the things you'll use to start building up your canals. The main issue we're going to have with this is the fact that, well, for one, it takes a lot of workers for everyone. Every single one of these water pumps takes 6 workers by default. Now you can upgrade them so they don't take as many workers, which we will do when we get a second, but for now it's going to cut into our workforce quite a bit. But I still think that's absolutely fine. I'm going to start building up our canals here, which are going to run with one space in between them and the farm, and they're just going to run all the way up here like so. We are almost certainly going to need more than these 2 pumps just to get the full spread of this, and we'll do it around the outside here. This bit in the middle won't be very fertile, but it'll be more fertile overall thanks to the these bits coming around here. And we've got another riot. Fantastic. It's not a good day if our minority races are rioting, which in this case is the Crotonians and the Dundorians. A little bit annoying. We kind of want our smiths to be on our side, but we will deal with it when we can. Speaking of dealing with things, let's upgrade this well, because we want to make sure people as happy as possible with their services, and the rioters are fine. They've calmed down a little bit. Thank you very much. Let's just do a little bit of housekeeping here, so we'll make sure that everybody is here and they're getting a varied number of laborers depending on what they need. You can see here how much they're actually using in terms of services. This one here is using 100%, so that is a good sign. We need to put down another food stall somewhere close by. I mean, we've got the one over here, and we've got the one over there. Potentially we could put something like this over here. And I don't think that's a bad idea. It'll at least keep people fed over in this area of town. It does kind of get in the way of upgrading the pottery in the future, but hey, we'll worry about that. A market stall is easy enough to move about. And let's get back going. So in terms of coal, we are making a little bit more coal, and you can kind of tell that because we're getting occasional tools, but we're still not making enough, if that makes sense. I wouldn't mind actually just expanding this out ever so slightly, which I think we will do. So let's just expand out our charcoaler. So we'll make sure that we're just going to extend it out like so. There's going to be a little bit in the middle there that's going to be unhappy, and that's a bit of a shame. But, you know, what they say, a temporary solution is probably the most permanent solution. And that is definitely the case here. We're going to put a bunch more kilns in. It's going to take more employees, but it will make it so that we are getting more charcoal. And as it stands, we don't actually have the metal to do this. Unless we start to import it in again. It's annoying. We'd have to potentially build another charcoaler rather than upgrading this one, just because we do need the metal in order to make it. And in order to get the metal, we then need to make the coal as well. So I think we might just have to make a new charcoaler and then expand into this one in a little bit. In terms of housing, we're doing okay. We're doing all right in terms of the amount of food we have as well, which is very, very nice. Potentially we could get another hunter. It's a fairly cost-efficient way of getting more meat, although we are getting a fair amount from our pastures, which is very, very nice. We will also move these pastures. We're going to move them up here when we get a second. But we'll do that after we build up these farms, which also should not take very long at all. Really just kind of a waiting game for people to get things done. We don't have the biggest workforce, and we aren't expanding very well, particularly quickly. I mean, how many years? The 17 years, we're now up to nearly 300 people. People are coming in. It's just taking some time, that's all. But that's fine. If we're playing something like the Garmethi, then we could get a lot more people in much quicker just by breeding them. If we do that, we'll sort of piss off the Dondorians, though, at least in this game, so I think we won't bother. What we're going to do here is we're going to actually make a larger charcoaler, and we're going to effectively surround our old one. And we'll put in a bunch of new kilns. Like so, like so. Nice big storage. We'll expand over our old one when we get a second. And let's improve up our efficiency. That'll do. 16 people. Potentially more than we maybe like as far as a charcoaler is concerned, but we'll take it. Speaking of which as well, we should consider upgrading a lot of our structures to stone, seeing as we do have a fair bit of stone that is left. So if we go to our structures and we go to our stone buildings and we can convert at least our walls into stone. And that should hopefully make humans happier as well. We can see when it comes to their building preference, they actually prefer stone more than wood, 70% to 50%. They do prefer grand stone, but hey, we're not made of money here. And just like that, they've already done it. So I think it is a very good idea to do. That's roads. Let's make sure that we're doing it with structures and we're converting. And you know what? We'll actually just go ahead and we'll just convert everything into stone. Anything that isn't already, we'll put a job down. You're going to be made into stone. And just like that, people should be a little bit happier. We'll make sure to upgrade these houses as well. There we go. Perfect. That'll use up a lot of our stone. In fact, we're nearly out of stone already. That was maybe a little bit drastic, but it needed, you know, the band-aid needed to be pulled off, as it were. And we needed to make sure that we were getting it done. Might as well do it now while we have a worker surplus rather than wait for it to come around later. We've got a fair amount of tools being made from our smithy. We probably don't need the full 9 blacksmiths. Let's actually bring that down to 2 because we do want to get at least a little bit of a surplus of metal if we can help it. And we want that just so we can upgrade our charcoaler when it comes up and also build our new one. Which, as it stands, he's not actually needing very much, which is good. Probably because we don't have the upgrade. So when it comes to it, we'll just expand over into this charcoaler as well. And that'll be good enough for me. We've got a little bit of clay coming in. We haven't even started building our pit. We're still working on these vegetable farms. We can see here the water pumps are being built as well. They're not leading into a well, but maybe another time. And we'll probably build up some more farms as well. I think we should probably actually build up a fruit farm. We're not going for fruit orchards just now, just because I find them to be... It seems like every time that you've managed to get them working, they then... yeah, fertility is very low, I know. It's okay, we're going to have a water pump coming in to help with that. Whenever you kind of build up a an orchard, it feels like that, you know, you grow the trees, they take a while, but it's fine, you're going to get a recoup on your investment later on. And then every time they're grown and you're about to get your first harvest, they get some kind of infestation and you have to chop them all down. That just seems to be the way that it works. Which obviously isn't particularly great. Okay, and with that, our charcoaler is nearly done. Fantastic. We're just going to keep on going here. Build up our farms, get the grain over here, get them sorted out. In terms of our bread, we could potentially use a nicer bakery. Once we kind of get coal more stable, we could also shift into using more coal, specifically coal within our bakery, so they actually do things a little bit quicker. Hey, look at them go. That's a lot more coal. We were making 14 before, we're now making 81. So, and that is also going to drive up the wood usage as well. So just like that, we've lost our surplus workforce, because now they're going to be down in the charcoalers. To get us the charcoal, we need to get our metal, which is fine. You know, it needs to happen. And we need to upgrade, and I think we actually have upgraded pretty much every single wall here. Yeah, it looks like everything is now stone, which is fantastic. I think we do maybe have some mud ceilings, yes, are here in the janitors. So I think we'll go here and we'll make sure that we're setting you to stone. There we go, bing bang bomb. They were already working all right before. There's not really any degradation anywhere around here, so I think we're all right. Yep, they've been upgraded to stone ceilings. Fantastic. Yep, you guys as well. And we can actually upgrade the stage, which we will. We'll use some of that nicely crafted stone that we're getting from our masonry here. And we'll upgrade the stage. That's going to make it so that people have a better service there, which is fantastic. It's exactly what we need, because that's also going to increase everybody's happiness. They were already pretty happy with the amount of stage that they had, but this will make it up even more. And in terms of their wells, they're fairly happy. There's still another upgrade that we can do for that. Let's have a little look at our lavatories. Everything seems to be upgraded. Fantastic. Everybody's on flexible workforce, which is good. And how are we doing over here? We should be seeing our coal reserves jumping up, but they'll have to get to work first before that happens. Our wood's doing okay, and we do seem to be using quite a bit of coal, despite the fact that we've kind of gone down on the amount of our smithies. But fingers crossed that we're able to get everything done. Lickety split. How are these farms doing? We're still needing more grain, still needing more fruit, and some more vegetables. And as far as our food goes, we are going down ever so slightly, which I am a little bit concerned about. We have a lot of pottery. We are still selling that pottery, correct? Let's just double check. Let's change you over to pottery, like so. We want to make sure that we are selling as much as we can. Let's also just grab our warehouse. We'll get them to collect from that. We'll make sure that we keep a little bit of a stockpile together as well. We don't need that much pottery, and we can make a pretty penny off it. We still have 20,000, so we don't need to worry too much about having a pretty penny, but having a little bit more would be nice. Let's actually import some more vegetables as well, because we will need it in order to build this field, and also having the extra food supplies is probably a good idea as well. Makes people happier, makes us more likely to get immigrants, and just, you know, makes everything pretty good. To be perfectly honest, we're still doing science, which is nice. We just need more of our iron, please. Coal ticking up a little bit, that's good. Go on, smelters, you do the work. We've got a little bit of tools in stockpile as well, which is fantastic. If we really wanted to, we could give tools to the charcoaler, but I don't think we'll bother. Potentially we think about giving just a smidgen of tools to the hunter, because he can actually take quite a lot, and this should hopefully increase. Yeah, you can see there, massive jump in the meat production that we're doing, and we could also give it to our entelants as well. They don't take quite as much in terms of tools. They only take 2, which is the 20, but that should also massively increase the amount of meat that we're getting. The more meat we get, the more happy our humans are. It would be the same with our bread, so maybe we even give just a couple of tools to our bread makers as well. They seem to be working a little bit slower than I potentially would like, so we'll get them working a little bit faster. Tools just give a bonus to the people within the workshop's productivity. A quick little save there, that's good. And we actually have quite a lot of research, that's very, very nice. Let's have a little look, see, so we've managed to already unlock improved laboratory, good. We could unlock a school, but if we want to unlock a school we also need paper. We don't quite have the research for that, which is a little bit of a shame. We get logistics, that's also a potential. Hybrid optimization for increased of everything. Could be nice, but we need level 2 in this. Let's actually get an edible crop addition. We could get industrial, but that's quite expensive at 700. We could unlock some fortifications. I don't think we quite need that yet. There's no point going for these things here because we don't have machinery. We could... No, we need refined smelters, which could be an idea. It costs 500, does cost us some metal bars in order to upgrade, but it will make it so that we get more metal bars quicker. Decisions, decisions, decisions. That's really what it comes down to. Otherwise, I mean, we could build a blood sport. Our humans do quite enjoy having access to some of the fighting pits. I think just having a little bit, just to make people happier, just so we're more likely to get our immigrants and keep our population growing, is not going to be a bad idea. And it's fairly cheap as far as a technology goes. So let's do that. And let me just double check. Entertainment, there we go. It's the smallest fighting pit. It's still quite big. But I kind of like the idea of where would it situate in our kind of place here. Potentially over here, kind of off the main road. But still kind of by it. We'll put a little fighting pit there. That should be fine. Let's pave out the roads over to there as well, just so people enjoy walking on it. How are our odd jobbers doing? I think they're doing okay. How are we doing over here? We're doing all right. We're doing all right. They should be clearing out a bunch of things as well. Seems like we've managed to get the majority of that done. Yeah, we've got a pretty high radius on that, so they should be going and collecting things as well. Get these farms ready to go. As soon as they're ready to go, that's us good to go as well. Food is doing okay. Well, it's not doing great, to be honest. We've managed to get 4 days of food, but that's because we had a massive import of vegetables, which we will then use to build this farm, but that's good. That's a long-term kind of solution. When it's kind of talking about the fertility, I guess it's talking about these bits over here, which is a bit of a shame. You can see that our guys in the water pumps, so we're currently using 12 of our workers for these water pumps, and the farms aren't even built yet. So that'll be where all our workers have gone. So, you know what, we'll just tell our water pumps for just now, let's just shut you off. There's no need for you to work just now. And let's have a look at our fertility. So it goes down to 33. You can see that the kind of land went from being a little bit more green to much less green. But it's good to see that this kind of loop is done by at least 2 pumps. We'll see if we can drop that down to 1 just so we get some more workers, as we currently have 11 odd jobbers as it stands. And how are we doing for our shrines? We don't have fancy shrines, so we can't upgrade. At least not yet. But people should be a little bit happier. And we're doing okay. We've got plenty of fish. There is another place we could give tools out to as well, is our fisheries. But we've got pretty high tool demand as it stands. Now, why oh why are we not storing coal anywhere? It does make me a little bit unhappy in that they're not putting this coal over here in this warehouse. That's because we don't have coal selected there. Yep, so we'll do that. And they should now drop off that coal over there, and then that should be taken down to the smelters and used like that, which is good. Might as well use that coal. We've got plenty of iron in storage, and you can actually see that we're getting a couple of metal bars being produced now as well, slightly more than what we're using at the smithy, which is great. It's exactly what we want. We could even potentially upgrade this charcoaler when we get a second. And did we unlock? No, we didn't unlock that yet, so let's do that now. Our science is doing really, really well, which is great. Yep, let's unlock that for 500 knowledge. We need a little bit more metal. We'll upgrade this. And then we'll upgrade our laboratories and we'll get even more knowledge. Humans are very good at researching, which is helping quite a bit, to be honest. And the tools are also helping as well. And here we go, our grain farm is done. Our fruit farm is nearly done. As soon as he's done, we'll take these guys off of the workstation there. And we'll get some guys back on the old water pump. There we go, perfect. So they're both working again. Ah, just in time for a drought. Fantastic. This is going to be a little bit interesting. We'll have to see how our farms do. We could also give out some tools to our farmers as well. If there's a drought, that is going to massively decrease the amount of yield we're getting from our farms, which is going to not be great. Where are our water pumpers? There's none over here, but there's also just not enough people who are actually doing this. We could upgrade this. We have the metal now, so we cut down on workers. And that might not honestly be the worst idea I've ever had, but we'll see. Right, we'll get this guys off the workstation. We're down by 5, but should hopefully be okay. Down by 3. Population is still growing ever so slowly, just thanks to a little bit of immigration and also a little bit of our kids being born in our nursery. I don't believe we can have a nursery for anybody else. We could make a Crotonian breeder, which does use vegetables, so we probably want to make sure that we have more vegetables in sooner rather than later. Oh, it's a hot day today, isn't it, lads? It is a very hot day. See, this drought has massively reduced the fertility everywhere. So we'll just have to see, or sorry, the moisture levels. So everything's turning yellow, horrible. But we'll see how we do. Hopefully we'll still get a decent enough yield, but I'm not going to hold out hope if I'm quite honest. Either way, how's our water doing? It doesn't quite make it all the way around with just the one pump, so yeah, we'll get that one back as well. We've lost a little bit of workers, but that's fine. And in terms of charcoal, we're actually doing pretty well. This charcoaler here is very much keeping up with demand, which is fantastic. That's exactly what we want. We just need a little bit more of our metal in order to produce a little bit more of metal by upgrading the metal smelter, because we're no longer locked by coal. We could potentially actually just shut this down or even just demolish it. Yeah, let's just delete this room. Should get a little bit of the resources back. Fantastic. And just like that, yeah, we'll nip in there. We'll get the upgrades. It's going to use more charcoal. It's going to use more iron. But we should also get a lot more metal bars as well. And we potentially even just add on a couple of workstations there so we get some more. As it stands, this is great. Pottery selling. We've got plenty of money. Things are going swimmingly. And more importantly, we've actually managed to get our first farms up and ready. We'll probably have another bit of irrigation coming up here when we get a second, but don't have to worry about that for just now. And in terms of the amount of water they're getting, that's good, that's good. How is our fruit farm? Yep, pretty good as well. Nice. We are running out a little bit in terms of housing. So we'll probably actually start building up another housing district over here. We'll make sure that it's being built out of stone, just because people enjoy stone buildings, or at least the humans do. And we'll probably build it so it's like that and that, and we'll think about the services in a little moment. For example, we'll grab a food stall and we'll put it up the side like so. We'll get the marketplace as well, and we'll also put it up this side. There we go, perfect. That'll make it so that these people want to move in. We'll have more houses, because we do actually seem to have not enough houses at the moment, but that's probably also just our leader. It's always good to... no, so it's gone up to 2. So yeah, it's always good to have a few more houses if we can manage it, just to make people a little bit happy. Really surprised by how much our money's going up. I think it's all that pottery we're selling off, which I hate. I'm not going to complain about. And we're slowly but surely getting more and more metal bars, which is even better, which we could use to upgrade this. Yeah, let's upgrade that. Suddenly we've regained 2 workers. Fantastic. And this is still irrigating up on most of our fields. How are we doing over here? Yep, so we've got another guy there. We should have enough workers that everything's fine. Fighting pit is done. Fantastic. So people should be a little bit happier about that there. Let's have a look at the services. Yeah, people 50% happy. You know, we'll take that. That's good enough for me. Just to make sure that we get a little bit more happiness, a little bit more loyalty, and then get more people in that way. especially once we start to build up more of these houses. Now, we do need to get some more stone, so if people would please clear out this stone. We may actually build a small workstation over here and put 7 people on it, and they can just work on clearing out that stone. We need that for the houses, please. Not only do we need it for the houses, we need it for the clay pit, which is going to be another interesting thing as well. How are we doing over here in terms of the farms? Still only down to 4 days of food, so we'll have to keep a little bit of an eye on that. But I think we're doing pretty well. Foremenlore is becoming a proper good town. Now, let's have a little think about exports again. So we're still exporting furniture, we're still exporting clothes. Let's make sure as well that we're actually pulling that from the storage, and we want to make sure that we're at least leaving 50% of that. There we go. Good stuff, good stuff. And it seems we're double exporting pottery, so maybe that's why we were getting so much there. Do we want to export any steel bars? I'm not sure. Maybe actually we want to export a little bit of the coal. Our wood's going down as well, so we do actually need to think about making sure that we have a more reliable food, or wood source, sorry, not food source. So, yeah, potentially building up a woodcutter could be a good idea over here. Just as an example, if we built one like this, that's a pretty good production. It does take a lot of workers, unfortunately, but, you know, we can deal with that. In terms of the auxiliary, we have the furniture, we don't really have the stone at the moment, but we will. So we can actually just put this down. It's going to take a lot of these efficiency increasing items, unfortunately, just to make sure that everywhere is nice and efficient. But we can manage that. And if we have a little look about how much it's going to produce us a lot of wood. So, you know what, we'll take what we can get. Unfortunately, there's not too much of any more unwooded places, so we'll have to get a little bit less efficient in terms of how we place them. But, like so, we are fine. A lot of stone, a lot of furniture, but this is the only way we're going to be able to future-proof all of our wood needs, so we'll start constructing that. And speaking of our wood needs, we do need to start felling some of these trees again, just to make sure that we can continue building. How are we doing over here? So we've got our food stall, we've got our market, fantastic, and we've got our grain farms and our fruit farms on the go. Can't complain, can't complain. We'll not bother building up additional houses just yet. We want to make sure that we're just clearing out the stone over here. And potentially even think about building up our stone deposits over here as well, just so we can keep our stone income going. Because we're running very much out of wood, we're running very much out of stone, and we're building quite a lot. And pretty quickly. And we're running out of houses. I think it's just mostly because of all the people that are coming in. We have, what was it, 7 people over here on this workstation. We have 20 odd jobbers on top of that. We've got a lot of workers coming in, which is good. It's good. It's because of the reason that we're getting all of these services. People are actually getting a little bit happier and thinking we're swell guys. Which, of course, we are. Let's have a little look at this harvest, see how we do. Seems like, I mean, hopefully things were okay. Doesn't seem like the best though, because it looks like they're actually tilling, and we don't really have any plants to show for it. In fact, we're sitting at 4 days, sorry, worth of food, with a whole bunch of homeless. It's winter, people aren't happy. It is the winter of our discontent. Let's potentially think about building up a hearth here. Keep people nice and warm, and we'll do the same as well with a well. Yep, just good timing there. It seems like things are very, very cold. Let's actually move that hearth. I've been a little bit silly. Put that there, that's going to block the road, so we'll move that across a little bit. Let's just get this hearth out, like so. Now, line up very, very nicely. There seems to be a little bit of a gap here between the houses, but that's okay. More space for a road. Now, once we have a little bit more of a wood stockpile, and especially a stone stockpile, that's really what we kind of need just now. Let's maybe bump this up to 13. We need more people cutting up the stone, because we need a lot of stone for where we're going. Because we need 200 for that, we need a bunch of stone for these houses. We've really kind of ran through our stockpile pretty quickly. I might even just bite the bullet and say, hey, yeah, we're just going to get a stone mine set up over here. Bite the bullet, we'll put it in. Lot of construction going on this episode. That's fine. That's what we need to do. Let's build it on up. Being pretty efficient here. A little bit more efficiency. just the tiniest little bit more. Like so, 100% efficiency. Not the best amount of deposits, must be said. A little bit disappointed about that, but you know, beggars can't be choosers and all that. Let's just increase that there so we get everything. A lot of workers could potentially be working here, but this does give us the chance to make a bunch of stone, so we'll do that. And we do actually have a surprising amount of metal as well as a decent number of tools. That's the main thing, that the benefits you get from this research, and tools will help you start to produce more. And that's what we'll hopefully start to do. How are we doing over here, guys? Yeah, very good, very good. We should get about a decent amount of fruit, we'll get a decent amount of grain, and a decent amount of veggies as well out of this. Well, certainly we can hope. And we'll just keep going for like a little bit longer, just so we can see the fruits of our labor. Our food is holding pretty steady. We've got plenty of number of tools. Enough that I am considering actually just make a couple of tools for our smithy, so they can get more tools out where possible. And we finally have the iron to upgrade the first of our labs, so let's do that. And we should see our research start to absolutely soar upwards. We'll probably need to build another laboratory, also upgrade it, as well as the laboratory we've got here, because eventually we'll want to get paper making and libraries so we can continue our knowledge growth and make things more efficient for us. We could even unlock gems just now. We could think about unlocking things like weaponsmiths or plate armor as well, but we don't make the most metal, and every bit of charcoal that we use, we are burning through quite a bit of wood, so we'll have to keep that in mind. A lot of stone here, fantastic. Let's have a little look at our warehouse. We'll make sure that they're not currently picking up, so we'll maybe just increase the radius just ever so slightly so that they're grabbing that as well. And we could even upgrade the warehouse as well, because we have the stone and the pots to do so. Which do we want to do? I think we're okay. We're not actually at full capacity at the moment, so we're all right in terms of that. Our food stockpile is dwindling kind of around 3 to 4 days, and that's mostly due to the rations and the imported vegetables, so we do need to have a little, and the important fruit as well. So we need to have a little think of that. Our stone mine is nearing construction, so this will give us a place to use some of these workers. Our wood cutter is still being cleared, so hopefully they'll clear that out soon enough. Let's also deactivate that, and we will make it so that that is in there. Still 100%. It's mostly cleared, and we should clear those out. Perfect. Just a little bit more to go. Come on now. Any second now. They'll clear that out, and then we can start building up our woodcutter as well. Alright, stone mine. So we've currently got a bunch of people here. I don't think we quite need that many. I think a good solid 15 is going to produce us quite a bit of stone per day. It's going to make sure that we're still keeping up enough that we can keep our masonry going. We can use it to fuel all of our construction efforts, like these houses over here, which we need to desperately make very, very shortly, because we're going to need somewhere to have all of our new farm staff. And we could also use these canals to put down some nice bath houses, things like that, so we can get some nice fresh water. It would be nice to sort of have a bath in the center of town as well, near the throne, make everybody happy. And I think with that, looking at the time, I think this is where we're going to call this one here. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I know it's been a double episode of Songs of Syx, but I'm quite enjoying it lately, and just wanted to get that out. We'll be going back to Dominion shortly, but I hope you've enjoyed this a lot. If you do like the Songs of Syx content and you want to be one of our nobles, please leave a comment in one of the videos. We'll put you in as one of our nobles with a rename. And if you like what we do in the channel, consider becoming one of the Burger Band in order to get some additional benefits and early access to videos when they're uploaded. But either way, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, take care.